Now I know a lot of you clicked on this video and are already planning on lighting me up in the comment section, but hold your horses. In this video, we are talking about pros and cons of both PC and console, and not only the Call of Duty space, but in the gaming space in general. If this is your first time here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. I do not have a problem with disagreements down in the comments, not even just targeted at my takes, but amongst yourselves as well. Respectfully, let's chop it up. So in this department, PC has a leg up on console. More flexibility as far as visual settings. As of right now on console, you are hindered to a degree as to how you want to customize your visual settings. On PC, you can literally build your own visual settings from the ground up. If you want to prioritize aesthetics, you can absolutely take the approach of maximizing graphics if your PC calls for it. And if you want to prioritize performance for the best FPS to where it won't hinder anything too bad aesthetically. But on the other hand, consoles are simple. Typically, you plug them in with just one or two cables and you turn them on. On PC, you have more than just a couple of cables, especially if you have a multi-monitor setup, and you do have to take a few more steps to open up a game on PC than you do on console. And if you like to travel, you can toss your PS5 or Xbox in a suitcase or a book bag and you won't have to worry about it. Taking a PC on a plane might be a little bit of an issue. Now, as far as PC, there is less input latency. Input latency does vary between PCs, motherboards, graphics cards, whatever the case. We're not going to get too deep into those stats here, but PC maintains a leg up as far as hardware and settings. With the right hardware and optimized settings, PCs can achieve low input latency, and gamers using high refresh rate monitors, 120Hz or more, often experience smoother gameplay. Now, as far as consoles, historically they do have more input lag due to factors like TV responsiveness and just more simple hardware. However, modern consoles like the Xbox Series X and the PS5 have improved significantly, but they are still outclassed by PC in this sense. Also, PC gamers enjoy better frame rates, usually more than 120Hz. This has been the case for years, which ultimately helps improve input latency. Console has just recently added 120Hz with the latest gen consoles, but as of right now, that is also where they are capped out at this point in time. Refresh rates on PC I've seen go as high as 500. That is insane. I don't even think the human eye can keep up with the refresh rate that high. So I do understand why a lot of people might find that a bit extreme. But also, with consoles starting to adapt higher refresh rates, that will also improve input latency as well. With the right settings though, both PCs and console can improve input latency. VSync and frame rate caps impact input lag. Experimenting with these can help you find the right balance. Historically, PCs have had an advantage over consoles, but ultimately, consoles are starting to narrow that gap. There is also a setting on the PS5. If your TV or monitor allows it, you can activate something called auto low latency mode, giving you a better chance against PC gamers with good rigs and gives you an edge over other console players that play on TVs or monitors that do not have this option. That being said, console hardware is getting better. So some key hardware improvements for the Xbox Series X and Xbox S is they now have powerful CPUs and GPUs. These feature custom AMD processors with Zen 2 architecture, providing impressive performance. They also call for faster storage. The use of NVMe's or M.2s and SSDs significantly reduces load times and enhances overall responsiveness. And with frame rates going up to 120Hz, calls for smoother gameplay. And the Series X targets native 4K resolution, while the Series S offers 1440p with upscaling. Both pretty solid. I think it might be a little bit underrated. Now, as far as the PS5, this also calls for custom AMD hardware. Similar to the Xbox, the PS5 features a custom AMD CPU and GPU with an ultra high-speed SSD, delivering lightning-fast load times and seamless world streaming. The DualSense controller is also becoming a very popular controller, especially amongst pro players. This controller is super responsive, and if you are using the DualSense Edge, you can customize these things to a T. And another thing about the PS5 is the advanced audio, processing for an immersive sound, giving PS5 players more of an audio advantage than you may think. All that being said though, PC parts are evolving as well, and like crazy. But this is part of the reason why multiple models of consoles come out in a certain generation. I think all it takes is for them to take another step or two to be able to keep up with PC and bridge that gap a little bit more between them in the competition. Will this happen? Probably not, but I do think this is possible. So we were just talking about controllers just a minute ago. Overclocking your controller is a thing on PC. Right now, just speaking for the PS5 controller, I do think you can overclock Xbox controllers as well. The average latency before overclocking a PS5 controller is 11.1 milliseconds. After overclocking, the latency is 3.7 milliseconds. This is a must, by the way, if you are a controller player. Since mouse and keys players have significantly less lag than us controller players, this lets us keep up with mouse and keys players in the latency department. But something else that is more simple about a console, you don't have to be sitting at a desk. There are still a lot of couch gamers out there, and there is nothing wrong with being one, I promise you. You can kick your feet up on the couch, bed, hell, even on the floor. If you just want to chill out, play the game, drink a beer, smoke a blunt, whatever. If you are taking this approach though, you probably will have a hard time playing at a high level, but again, you probably don't care that much. And that's fine. And I get it, not everyone wants to be a top dog in Call of Duty or a top dog in gaming. Some literally just play for fun and just to kill some time. Another thing is sound EQ on PC. Sound EQ can significantly change your audio experience in Call of Duty or gaming in general. However, this only sometimes works in your favor. A lot of players have reported louder footsteps, but they've also reported directional issues if enemies were in close proximity. So a lot of times if a player is playing with a headset and they're acting like they don't have a headset in game, there is a chance they are using sound EQ. I'll tell you what though, if you check out my guys over at Waves Customs, you will absolutely not even think about sound EQing. Get these in-ear monitors fitted for your ears only just by scanning your ears with your smartphone, both iPhone and Android. You will be amazed about the shit you can hear in-game with these in-ear monitors. They do get pretty loud, so make sure you are using these safely. Not only do they kill it in the audio department, they also kill it as far as aesthetics. You can get them in almost any colorway, and you can get almost any logo printed on them. Maybe your favorite esports team, maybe your favorite e-girl. Whatever the case is, Waves has you covered in both audio and aesthetics. Check these guys out. It'll be the first link down in the description, and use code NERV7 for 10% off any purchase at checkout. Now, I can go on for hours to what pros and cons both consoles and PCs have, but the question is, should you be playing Call of Duty on PC or console? I know a lot of you guys saw this coming, but if this cheating nonsense keeps up, I think console will be the move from here on out. And when I say this, I mean console without crossplay. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot cheat on console, but it is significantly harder to cheat on console than it is on PC. All of the positives I said about PC are damn near mute because of cheaters that are plaguing not only Call of Duty, but the gaming community, period. I wish there was something that can actually be done about this. I know there are anti-cheat systems and whatnot, but a lot of those anti-cheat systems still have players that figure out some kind of workaround to make it a shitty gaming experience for everyone. What's your take though? Consider subscribing as we chase down our first 1K subs here on the channel. If you happen to be in that first 1,000 subs or so, you, my friend, are one of the day ones, and I'll be glad to have you a part of the squad. Check out these two videos here though, as we are trying to expand our XDefiant catalog here on the channel with over 100 Call of Duty videos or so. If you made it to the end, thank you for sticking around. All y'all take care, and I'm out.